Claude Code is now available on Anthropic's $20 Pro plan, making it easier than ever to get started without the hefty price tag. Up until now, if you wanted to use Claude Code, your only options were the API or the $100 Max plan, both which are great choices, but not exactly budget-friendly for those just getting started. This update is a big deal, especially for beginners, hobbyists, or anyone who's curious about Claude Code but were put off by the high cost. With this $20 Pro plan, it's now easier to explore AI-driven coding without a major investment. Naturally, with a more affordable tier like this, there will be some trade-offs, and in this video, we'll look at what you get and what you give up. I'll start by walking you through how to set up Claude Code using this $20 Pro plan. Then we'll break down which features are included, what's missing, and how this plan stacks up against the $100 Max plan. Let's get started. First, for those new to the channel or those unfamiliar with Claude Code, here's a quick overview. So Claude Code is a terminal-based coding tool that runs directly inside your codebase. Unlike traditional coding IDEs like VS Code, PyCharm, or Cursor, you won't be writing code in an editor. Instead, you will be interacting with Claude in your terminal, almost like having a conversation. You describe what you want, and Claude Code generates the code for you. It handles the logic, the code changes, everything, all from within the terminal. And this is the reason why people call Claude Code an agentic coding tool. It's because you no longer do any of the coding. Rather, you are now instructing your agent, aka Claude Code, to do the coding on your behalf. Now that you have a sense of what Claude Code is, let me show you how to set it up, and it's really simple. So the first step is to install Claude Code. So go to this Anthropic website right here, and here you will find the command that you need to run in order to install Claude Code on your local machine. So scroll down, and you will find this terminal command right here, and copy and paste it. Now, you need to make sure that you first have Node.js installed. So if you don't, click on this link, follow it, and make sure that you have Node.js installed on your machine. Once you have Node.js installed, just copy this command, go to your terminal, paste it in, and just hit enter. Now, since I've already installed Claude Code, I'm not going to hit enter, but you get the idea. Now, if you already have Claude Code installed on your local machine, make sure to update it to the latest version, as this new feature of the Pro plan only works on Claude Code versions 1.11 and higher. If you don't update to the latest version, when you try to log in later, you won't have the option to sign in with your Pro plan account. It'll still say Max plan. Now, to update Claude Code, it's really simple. Just go to your terminal and write Claude update, and this will update Claude. So here you want to be on version 1.11 or higher. Once installed, you need to navigate to any project directory. So Claude Code isn't a standalone app. There's nothing to double click or launch from your desktop. Instead, it runs entirely in the terminal and integrates directly with your codebase. So what you want to do is go to your terminal and navigate to any project folder you want Claude to work in. In general, you want Claude to be at the root level directory. So in my case, I'm going to navigate to a project called Animal Facts. So I'm just going to cd into that right now. Next, run Claude, and this is going to initialize the setup process. So here, just choose if you want light or dark mode. I'm just going to do light. And now on this screen, this is very important. Make sure you click the first option. You want to make sure you click on this Claude account with subscription. You do not want to click on this API usage billing. So this first option allows you to use Claude Code on your Pro plan and your Max plan. So just hit enter, and this is going to open up a page for you to log in. So just hit authorize, and then once you authorize, go back, and then now just hit enter a few more times. Once you see this Claude welcome page, you are now in Claude Code and can start using it right away. Now, if you type /status, you will be able to see your login method. So in my case, because I have the Max plan, my login method is the Max account. And now for you, this might be the Claude Pro account. Now, if you used the API version of Claude Code in the past, I would highly recommend you periodically check the status page and make sure you are using the subscription plan and not the API plan. There's been lots of cases where users accidentally logged into the API version and not the subscription version and got a surprise bill at the end. So just be careful. And that's it. you can now use Claude Code as part of your $20 Pro plan. Now, in terms of how to use Claude Code, there's no right or wrong answer. I recommend starting by reading over the official documentation, then checking out some of my other videos, but most importantly, just playing around and experimenting with the tool. One of the best things about Claude Code is that it works really well right out the box without needing a lot of custom configurations. So spend a few hours playing around and you will start to notice what works for you, what doesn't, and where you can begin optimizing your workflow and so on. Now that we have Claude Code set up, let's talk about what features you get and what you don't with this $20 Pro plan. Since this is their more affordable tier, there's going to be some key trade-offs when compared to their more premium $100 max plans. Let's break them down, starting with the most important one, model access. The biggest limitation is model access. On the Pro plan, you don't get access to Claude Opus 4, which is Anthropic's most powerful but most expensive model. And just to clarify, this restriction only applies to Claude Code. You can still use Opus 4 in their regular web chat interface, but when you're using Claude Code, Opus 4 is unavailable. The tool defaults to Claude Sonnet 4 instead. The next major difference is usage. On the Pro plan, you get roughly 10 to 40 Claude Code prompts per session, depending on the length and complexity of your requests. For comparison, the $100 max plan gives you about 5 times more capacity, in the range of 50 to 200 prompts per session. And the $200 max plan gives you 200 to 800 prompts per session. And if you're using the API, your usage is pay as you go. Now, just keep in mind that the prompt range Anthropic provides is only an estimate and is really meant more as a general reference. In reality, usage is based on tokens, not the number of messages. So the exact number of prompts you can send will vary depending on how long your inputs and outputs are. The more inputs you provide to the model, or the more outputs the model generates to you, the faster you will hit the limits. If you want to get more out of your usage, there are ways to optimize how to use tokens in Claude Code. I won't cover that in this video, but I have another video that dives into this in detail. I will link it in the description below. So to wrap things up, Anthropic's $20 Pro plan is a great entry point for anyone who wants to explore Claude Code without the upfront cost of the $100 max plan or the pay-as-you-go API plan. If you are a newcomer to AI coding, a developer who's curious about agentic workflows, or someone who just wants to experiment with Claude Code, this plan gives you a low-risk way to get started. Yes, there are trade-offs, like no access to Opus 4 and more limited usage compared to higher tiers, but for lightweight coding and hands-on experimentation, the Pro plan delivers a surprising amount of value for just $20. If you have ever used the API version, you know how quickly the cost can add up. So having access to Claude Code through a flat monthly fee is a great deal. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.